There is one design secret which makes every design instantly better. That is layout, and that's what we are going to dissect today. Hello everyone, this is Shazib Kazmi. Welcome to the Design and Tech Show, and today we are talking about layout in UI design, which is the ultimate tool to make every design more consistent and just instantly make it look better visually and logically. So first thing in the layout is the grid and alignment. So what is a grid? Well, a usual website can be divided into certain vertical columns, right? So what do UI designers generally do is that they divide the entire web page into 12 vertical columns with 140 pixels margin on each of the end, right and left. So this brings them a very centered 12 columned layout, and those columns have a spacing of 30 pixels between them. So this gives them a general layout. This gives them the foundation on which they can build on their further elements, and this actually provides them the blueprints to the user interface, keeping them more consistent and more directed and less chaotic. Another thing which they use is the alignment. So let me explain this using an example. Consider the hero section of a website, right? The landing page of a website. What does it consist of? It consists of a headline, big headline, a subtitle, and a call to action button. So these three elements are usually found in the hero section of websites. So if you have seen some very well designed websites like that of Stripe and Uber, so you can see how these three elements of heading, subtitle, and the button, they all are aligned equally together, giving them a very clean and peaceful look, not at all chaos. And trust me, your users don't like chaos on your website. That's why you have to keep layouts very much in check so that your website looks more consistent. So we have discussed alignment and grid. Another thing is visual hierarchy. So visual means something we can see, and hierarchy, something which can be prioritized. So prioritization, visual hierarchy, what is that? So if you have a landing page, right, at the hero section, and so you have certain information displayed over there, certain elements talking about different things, but those things are not equally important. Some things are more important, some things are less important. Like sometimes you want to drive conversion, so you have to focus more on the call to action, but sometimes you just want to give the overall feeling of your product, so you focus on the headline. If you want to focus on the details, you focus on the description. But if it's a portfolio, you either want to focus on yourself, your headshot, or your role, and something like that. This requires visual hierarchies. See, we know what to look at. First we go for the headshot, the person, then we go for the heading, the bolded heading, and then we see the action buttons, not the description, because it's bigger in size, it's more distinct. So we go for the button then, and then we go for that description, which in my opinion doesn't really require any that much significance. So this hierarchy is very good. Lastly, we'll be talking about proximity. So what is proximity? The spacing between things. So in good design, there is very, very less proximity. So if you see this web page, this is not good at all because it has got a lot of white space. Now don't get me wrong, white spaces is very good for design. We'll be talking about it in later videos, but proximity is something like if two things are related, if they require the same attention and they serve the same purpose, then they both should be closer together. And your design needs to follow certain rules of physics as well. Like if the font size is very thick, isn't very big, so that heading, those if they are separate lines, then they would be closer together because of their gravity. So your design needs to have certain logic in them. So if you have some information talking about the same thing and just having the same purpose, then they should be in close proximity to each other. This also serves in its retrospect. Like if two things are not closer together, they should not be in closer proximity. So proximity adds certain logic to your design. So those things, those elements which serve the same purpose are closer in proximity to each other. The things which are not, they are further apart. So these three things are the secrets for good design, which by following these principles you can make your UI design much more consistent and much more professional. This is how layout plays a role in UI design: grid and alignment, visual hierarchy, and proximity. These are the three elements of layout which make your design instantly better. This was Shazib Azmi. I'll catch you in the next one.